Welcome back to AI Brief. Ready for another deep dive into AI?
Let's do it.
It's Amin here with Laya, your guides to what's really noteworthy in the world of AI. And let me tell you, today's lineup is packed.
Oh, absolutely. We've got some intriguing stuff to unpack today.
From Nvidia, jumping into robotics, but in a way you might not expect, to AI teachers hitting actual classrooms. Buckle up, it's about to get interesting.
I'm ready. Let's jump in.
Okay, so first up, Nvidia. They're known for those powerful GPUs, synonymous with gaming, high-performance computing, you name it. But get this, they're making a serious move into robotics.
Yeah, and it's not what you might initially think. They're not building the robots themselves.
Right, it's all about the brains this time.
Exactly. They just announced this new computer specifically designed for humanoid robots. The Jetson Thor, they're calling it.
Jetson Thor, huh?
Yeah.
So what's the strategy here?
Well, it's fascinating, really. Nvidia is taking the same approach that made them a giant in gaming. They provide the core tech, like they did with GPUs for gaming, and now this specialized computer for robots, and then they let everyone else build on top of it.
I see, so kind of like, here's the engine, now go build your dream car, or in this case, robots.
Exactly. And think about the impact. This could be huge for robotics accessibility. It could make developing and researching robots so much easier.
Right. Imagine if building a sophisticated robot became straightforward as putting together a PC. That's kind of the potential we're talking about here.
Absolutely. That's the future this kind of tech could enable.
Okay, so that's the Jetson Thor. But NVIDIA didn't stop there, did they?
Nope, not at all. They went and acquired this company, Run.ai, for, get this, $700 million.
Wow. 700 million.
Yeah.
So what does Run.ai do that's worth that kind of money?
Well, their software helps manage and optimize all those powerful GPUs that NVIDIA is known for. But here's the kicker. They're making Run.ai's platform open source.
Wait, open source? That's a pretty big shift for a company known for its proprietary tech.
It is, and it's a fascinating development. It could signal a real strategic change. Maybe they're focusing on broader adoption, building a bigger ecosystem around their technology.
Makes sense. You know, even if most of us aren't building robots ourselves, these moves by NVIDIA could have a ripple effect. Make AI development more accessible across a bunch of industry.
Oh, absolutely. The impact could be huge.
Speaking of big impacts, how about AI teachers? This is where things get really interesting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, this one is a big one. Arizona just approved this pilot program for a charter school. And get this, AI is going to be the primary teacher for some subjects.
AI teachers in real classrooms? I mean,
Yeah.
we've been talking about the potential for this for years, but it's actually happening now.
It is. And we're talking grades 4 through 8, 2 hours a day, focused on core subjects like math and English.
And they're using platforms that many people are probably familiar with. IXL, Khan Academy, that sort of thing.
Right, but here's the key difference. The AI tailors the lesson to each student in real time. So it adjusts the difficulty, how it presents the material, all based on how the student is doing.
So it's like each kid gets a personalized tutor.
Exactly. And the rest of the school day is focused on life skills workshops, led by human mentors, so it's not replacing teachers entirely. It's more like seeing if AI can boost personalized learning.
Right, and then the human teachers can focus on other important stuff.
Exactly. Now, the early results from this pilot are pretty amazing. They're saying the students are learning twice as much in half the time.
Wow, that's impressive. Of course, it's still early days, and it's a pretty radical idea, but if this works, it could completely change education as we know it.
No doubt about it. This is an experiment we need to watch closely.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got robots with better brains, AI stepping into classrooms, and now let's jump into the world of cutting-edge AI research. Alibaba's Quinn team just dropped this open-source AI model. QVQ is what they're calling it, and it's making some serious waves.
QVQ. This one's really interesting. It's all about visual reasoning. This AI doesn't just see images, it analyzes them, understands the context, and then uses that info to solve some pretty complex problems.
So not just image recognition, but actual problem solving using images.
Yes, and they're focusing on math and physics problems specifically. And get this, QVQ's performance on benchmarks. It's almost as good as the top closed-source models out there, the ones companies usually keep top secret.
So it's really good then.
It is. But here's what I find fascinating. Alibaba made QVQ open source. That's a big deal. A lot of companies keep their best AI locked up tight, but Alibaba's doing the opposite.
They're basically saying, here you go, world. Let's all work on this together.
Exactly. And that could really accelerate the development of more sophisticated visual reasoning AI. Benefit everyone.
I mean, the possibilities are endless. AI that can diagnose medical images and then suggest treatment plans, AI that can help design better cities, even AI that helps solve scientific mysteries.
Oh, yeah. The applications are huge. And Alibaba opening this up could be a real catalyst for some breakthroughs down the line.
From digital breakthroughs to something a little more tangible, researchers have created this new perception system. They're calling it Armor, and it basically gives robots a sense of touch all over.
It's like giving robots artificial skin. It uses all these depth sensors distributed over the robot's body, and that creates this incredible awareness of their surroundings.
Okay, so more aware robots. What does that translate to in the real world?
Fewer crashes. Robots with armor have shown a 63% reduction in collisions, and their navigation is way better, like 78% improvement.
That's huge.
And here's the best part, it's all built with off-the-shelf components, so it's affordable. This could be in all sorts of robots pretty soon.
So no more robots bumping into things in the factory, and they're better at navigating complex environments. What are the bigger implications here?
Well, this could be the key to getting robots out of those controlled factory settings and into our world. The messy, unpredictable human world. Think home helpers, search and rescue robots, all sorts of possibilities.
Robots that can actually function in the real world? That's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all of this, it's happening right now. The world of AI is moving so fast.
It is, and it's incredible. But with all this progress, it's important to remember the ethical side of things. Responsible AI development is more crucial than ever.
Couldn't agree more.
We need to make sure AI is used for good. Okay, so we've covered a lot already, but there's so much more to discuss. Ready to keep diving in?
I'm ready. Let's see what else is shaking things up in the world of AI. You know, talking about robots in the real world, blurring those lines, Meta's got some interesting plans too. They're talking about significantly increasing the number of AI-powered accounts on their platform.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's pretty wild. So users could actually create AI characters that interact with others.
Exactly. It's like almost having a digital friend or a virtual assistant right there on the platform.
Like supercharged chatbots.
Yeah, think of it that way. It's all part of Meta's big push to bring generative AI into everything they do.
So these AI characters would have their own personalities, they could learn from interactions, even adapt to different people.
That's the idea. And you know, it really makes you wonder how people will use this. Will it be purely for entertainment? Or could you see these AI characters used in more practical ways like customer service or even education?
It's a whole new layer of social interaction. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. Speaking of shaking things up, there's a rumor that OpenAI, the folks behind ChatGPT and DALL-E, they might be getting into humanoid robotics.
It wouldn't be that surprising, would it? I mean, they've been investing in robotics startups. Figure AI 1X, those come to mind.
Right, and they're working on their own AI chips. Those could be used to power robots.
If OpenAI does jump into robotics, things could get very interesting very fast.
They're already known for pushing AI boundaries. Imagine what they could do with robots.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, artificial superintelligence, ASI, is becoming a bigger part of the conversation. Logan Kilpatrick, he's a product lead at Google, used to be at OpenAI. He tweeted recently that a straight shot to ASI is looking more probable by the month.
A straight shot to ASI. That's a pretty bold statement.
It is, and it makes you think, right? ASI, by definition, surpasses human intelligence in every way. What does that even mean for us?
Yeah, the implications are huge and honestly pretty unknown at this point. But it's a good reminder that while we're excited about all this AI progress, we need to be cautious too.
Absolutely. Making sure AI development is ethical, responsible, that's more important than ever. And that brings us to someone who's really been advocating for that, Dario Amodei.
Oh yeah, he's the CEO of Anthropic, right?
That's right. He's a big voice for safe and ethical AI. He used to be at Google Brain and OpenAI, but co-founded Anthropic to specifically focus on AI that's not just powerful, but also transparent, aligned with human values.
So Anthropic is all about building AI we can understand, AI we can control.
Exactly. And they've got this model, Claude Sonnet 3.5, that a lot of developers are using, especially for coding. It's designed to be more reliable, more predictable than other language models.
So less of the black box problem that worries a lot of people.
Right. And Amodei isn't just focused on building the models. He's pushing for more transparency in the whole field, something called mechanistic interpretability.
Which basically means figuring out how the AI is making its decisions.
Exactly. If we want to trust AI, we have to understand how it works. It's a huge part of responsible development, but often gets overlooked.
Okay, so we've got the philosophical side of AI, but there's the practical side too, right?
Yeah.
Like this company, Pallet. They're using AI to completely revamp the logistics industry.
Oh yeah, Pallet. They're a great example of AI solving real-world problems. They've built this whole platform that uses AI to streamline everything in logistics.
Like what specifically?
We're talking order entry, dispatching, inventory management, even accounting. They're automating all of it.
And that not only makes things more efficient, it probably reduces errors too.
Exactly. And they're pushing for contactless orders, minimizing human intervention as much as possible. It's a pretty amazing example of how AI can make complex operations so much smoother.
And they're doing well too. I read they just got $18 million in funding, and they're already working with tons of companies. Speaking of investments, TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, they're reportedly going to drop a massive $7 billion on Nvidia AI chips in 2025.
Wow, $7 billion. That's a huge statement, especially with all the U.S. export restrictions on AI chips to China.
Right, but ByteDance is planning to use overseas data centers to get around those restrictions. Shows how serious they are about AI.
It's an AI arms race out there. All the big players are making these massive bets to stay ahead.
And as we head into 2025, it's clear that AI is going to be even more influential, shaping how we live, work, everything.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be watching this all unfold. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot today. Robots, AI teachers, superintelligence, even the ethics of it all. But I want to bring it back to our listeners for a moment. What are you guys thinking about all this?
What are you most excited about, or maybe even a little concerned about?
We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts with us on social media or leave a comment on the episode page. Your perspective matters.
Open dialogue is so important as we navigate this whole AI landscape. You know, as we talk about the future of AI, the big question is, how do we make sure AI is a tool that helps us and doesn't replace us?
Yeah, it's a question a lot of people are asking. And for good reason, especially as AI gets more and more advanced.
Exactly. So before we wrap up for the year, we thought it would be good to give our listeners some tips, some practical advice on how to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, how to make sure AI doesn't take your job.
Exactly. So tip number 1, learn how to manage an AI agent.
An AI agent.
Yeah, think about it. Pretty soon, a lot of us are going to be working alongside AI, using it to help with all sorts of tasks.
Like what kind of tasks?
Well, content creation, data analysis, customer support, you name it.
So it'll be like managing a team, but your team members are AI.
Exactly. You'll need to learn how to train these AI agents, how to monitor their performance, delegate tasks, make sure their output is good.
It's a whole new set of skills to learn.
It is, but it's going to be essential in the AI-powered workplace.
So that's tip 1, manage those AI agents. What's tip number 2?
Tip number 2, sharpen your data literacy skills.
Data literacy.
Yeah, AI runs on data, right?
Yeah.
So anyone who can work with large data sets, visualize information, and extract insights is going to be super valuable.
So become the person who can translate all that raw data into something useful.
Exactly. That's a skill that's not going away anytime soon.
Okay, so we've got managing AI agents and data literacy. What's the third tip?
Focus on what makes you human.
What makes us human?
Yeah, AI is great at automating stuff, but there are some things it just can't replicate. Creativity, empathy, critical thinking, complex problem solving.
Those are all uniquely human skills.
Exactly. So double down on those skills, things like leadership communication, emotional intelligence.
So basically make yourself irreplaceable.
Exactly. By focusing on your human strengths, you make sure you're not easily replaced by a machine.
Okay, so 3 tips to survive and thrive in the age of AI. Manage AI agents, sharpen those data skills, and focus on what makes you human.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
It's up to us to make sure it's used for good, that its development is guided by ethics and a focus on human well-being.
Well said. As we've seen today, the world of AI is full of incredible breakthroughs, and it's only going to get more exciting from here.
From robots with a sense of touch to AI that can personalize education, the possibilities are truly amazing.
But it's important to remember to approach all of this with a critical eye. We need to make sure AI benefits everyone.
As we head into 2025, let's all work together to use AI for good, to create a future where humans and machines can thrive together.
Well said, Leia. And on that note, we want to thank all of you for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been an amazing year exploring the world of AI with all of you.
From both of us here at AI Brief, we wish you a very happy and innovative new year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
We'll be back soon with more deep dives into the world of AI. Until then, stay curious.
And keep exploring.